This is where the fun begins. Okay. Mago, yeah. So my number three would have to be. This is gonna be totally predictable. Shadow Warrior. It's a miserable pile of cow dung. What hasn't been said about this episode to describe how terrible it is? No plot. Well, there's a plot. Minor. It's rushed. Anakin fighting Dooku randomly out of the blue for no apparent reason. Padme wasting away the only chance the Republic might have had to win the war by trading away Grievous for Anakin. And OMFG, Grievous versus Gungan. This
You
is
won't
that
want
that
this on
that fight
everyone.
was basically a slap to the face to any Grievous fan out there. You watch that, and like after that, I remember if you said you were a Grievous fan, people would laugh. Like, oh, the guy got his ass kicked by Gungan. No, by Jar Jar Binks. You're like, yeah, that guy. It was just the episode. It didn't make any sense. And then they had that part in the beginning with the necklace being possessing what's his name, Boss Leone, and I like that one guy, Reese Lu. He was kind of cool, I guess. I like his design. He dies for no reason. Dooku kills him. He's like, "You are a fool, Richelieu," even though he did exactly what Count Dooku told him to do. Yet he kills him anyway. Okay. Again, I've already like spoke about this episode in so many other podcasts and conversations. It's like been done to death. So that is my number three. Number two, I am going to have to say Evil Plans. This is like the episode that this is when I started to slightly dislike Cad Bane. Season four just like turned me off him completely. But this episode, it did like a complete 180 on his character. He went from slightly menacing and having some point to just being an idiot. I'm sorry, like I don't know. And then like the whole plot of the episode is just a big jumbling mess. You have R2 C3PO going out to get fruit for some cake for Padme, and then Bane captures C3PO and hoping to get plans that an astromech droid would clearly have instead. And it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me, at least. And then another thing, this is the episode, as I said, it started completely turning me off Bane. His character, his voice, even they just didn't fit at all. It's like it was someone. It was like a character was pretending to be Bane. It just didn't work for me. But again, I've spoken about this episode dozens of times, and yet it still seems to be a fan favorite for some reason. I don't know why, but
Joke.
people are crazy. And number one, now this might get me some flack from the Bane fan people. It would be Crisis on Naboo.
I don't think anyone's going to bash you for that.
Now this episode, it's like it takes an already crappy arc and just it takes a crap on itself. It it ruins whatever plot they were seemingly attempting to have. It just completely makes it useless. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I mean, the whole arc, it was poorly done. Like one of my least favorite arcs. This episode, this one was a tie. It was either going to be this one or Friends and Enemies. But I think this one, it's got Anakin whining throughout the whole thing. It's got Bane. Enough said, really. And it has another fight with Anakin and Dooku, which did not need to take place at all. But okay. And again, the whole episode, it just seemed really scattered and rushed, kind of like Shadow Warrior was. Like if they'd taken out friends and enemies and maybe like stretched this one out and maybe expanded on it on it a bit, would have made a bit more sense.
That's an interesting idea, actually.
Well, yeah, because it just seemed so rushed, and then I think that's why it was the reason. That's why it was so bad because they just like completely rushed it in like 22 minutes. So, and then there was one point I did not get about the episode. Why Dooku double crossed Bane and Evolve, and yet they
Yeah.
had the Chancellor, and yet he wasn't there, and then he loses the Chancellor later on. could. Oh my god. There were only two things I liked about the episode. One was Obi-Wan as Hardin. He was like one of the only redeeming factors for me this whole arc. He was. I love that. That was pretty good. And you know what? That's the only thing I liked about the episode. It was Obi-Wan being there. Well, if it had been mostly Anakin, that would have been like kicking a dead horse. But it was just no comment. No further comment. It's number one. Crisis on the Booth for me.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
sad.
I think
After
everyone
hearing all his
agrees.
thoughts, I will admit that Revenge probably doesn't deserve to be in my top 3 worst because it at least had some things that were good with it. So maybe I'll have to rethink that some other time.
Okay.
Oh well.
And out of all of us, Ronan raged the least. And I think I raged the most.
Big surprise.
And that's it for Clone Wars Weekly. Tune in next time where we organize things better and hopefully have some new segments for you. We'll see how things play out. Talk to you guys next time.
And hopefully you liked my rage.